Hi, this is Mrs. McNulty, and in this video I'm going to step you through creating a self-portrait digital illustration using Sketchbook. So the first thing we want to do is open Sketchbook. If you don't have it open, I'm going to go to your launch pad and look for the pencil tip. Click on that to open it up. Another thing I want you to check is that Google Drive is listed under the devices in Finder. If it's not, and you need to reinstall it, again, go to Launchpad, the self-service, and look for that Google Drive file stream and hit reinstall. Okay, after we have that, what we want to do is set up a new document to work with. So we're going to hit File, New, File, Page Setup. Make sure the paper size is US letter, 8.5 by 11. The orientation's vertical, and the scale is 100%. Okay, next thing we want to do is go to Image, Image Size, uncheck that Key Proportions box, and change your width to 8.5. Make sure it's inches. If it's not, on this drop down, select inches. And the height, 11, again, inches. I want you to change the resolution to 300. Make sure that says pixels per inch. If everything looks like that, you can hit OK. All right, and there's our new document. The next thing we want to do is add our reference photo, the photo of you. So we're going to go to Image, File, Add Image. You're going to navigate to your art folder or wherever your reference photo is located. Here's mine. Select it and open it. All right. Now we have to resize it to fit on our page. So we're going to click in the middle of that circle and enlarge it. It can be a little larger than the actual document. That's fine. We want to focus mostly on the facial features. So we want those as big as possible. Again, to move it around on your document, it would be in the outer portion of the circle. Click and drag. Let's say enlarge your face so that it's pretty much stretching from side to side. That looks good. Okay, when you have it as you want it, then just hit the X to get out of that. Then it's placed. Okay, so over here on our layers panel, again, if you don't have that window showing, up to Window, and the layer editor, everything that's checked is showing. So that is this one. So we have our white piece of paper, our image layer, and the layer that we're going to draw and color on. We need the reference photo. I'm going to rename that. To be underneath the layer that we're going to draw and color on. So you're going to grab the down arrow and move your photo underneath that first layer. Okay, I'm going to rename that Okay, So again, as we usually do, on the reference photo layer, I'm going to lower the opacity a bit so that it's easier to see when you're drawing and coloring. Okay, but then always be on the upper layer when you do your drawing and coloring. So in this this drawing, I'd still like to use the paintbrush, but if you'd like to use a thicker weight, that's fine. Maybe for the details you want to stick with, a 3-point brush, but maybe for the outer edges we'll take it up a bit. Let's see what 6 looks like. Okay, I think it's best just to start in black. So you can either pick that on this Copic library. At the very end is the blacks, whites, and grays. Or if you want to work on the color editor, click on the dark section of this square. Okay, so now we know we're in black. Okay, and our paintbrush with black on the drawing color. Always check before you start drawing, that everything is just as you want it. So maybe I'm going to start with the hair. I'm going to click on my trackpad and drag my paintbrush around. Now it's up to you how you want to do the color or do your, outlining. Maybe my suggestion is don't to stop, and start a new line pretty often, because if you're not happy with the line, you want to go back. You won't have to erase too much. So I'm going to stop there for a second and then start a new line. Oops, I don't like that. If you make your line too long, then, and you want to change it, you're erasing a lot. Again, we're going to create a lot of closed shapes, so our lines have to be, connecting, making shapes. So right there, I just made a shape by connecting those lines there. Okay, you can separate the shape or divide the shape even more. Just make sure you're going line to line, or even over, drawing. Okay. I think the next, I'll start up here. For some reason, I keep tilting my document. Good. I'm going to do the same idea as I did last time. Up to there, and then just go there. Okay, now I've made a new shape there. This is going to be more up to you, where you draw and what kind of shapes you make. But what I'd like you to do is to trace everything first and then come back and fill it in with color. I'm just going to work on dividing up the hair portion into different sections, making sure that they are completely connected. These shapes are, the lines are connected so that the shapes are able to hold the color when we fill it in. Okay, this is really up to you. It's however you want to do it. Just want you to give me those. Do all your lines first. Now, my suggestion for doing the face is to use a thinner line. And you might want to use even a lighter color, maybe a different shade of gray, which is what I did. Probably want to zoom in on that, so we can use our zoom tool. Remember swiping up zooms in, and then swiping down zooms out. Okay, so say you had a detail. I might pick a lighter gray to do that. And if you double click on the paintbrush, I might pick a smaller line weight. Even 3. Okay. You can experiment with color and line weight, but again, just don't draw too much at once, so that if you want to step back, you're not erasing too much of what you'd already done. Again, those shapes have to be closed in order to hold any kind of color. You always want to make sure you're connecting them. Okay, remember we can turn off that photo layer to see how we're doing. Check that everything's connected and closed. Okay. All right. So I'd like you just to keep, kind of going with that, filling, section off your hair, your face. Again, for the nose, I would say in there, you don't have to draw the complete nose, maybe just some indications. Okay, what I mean by that is something like that. Nose is always a tricky part to draw because it's actually three-dimensional. So you don't have to outline the whole entire thing, just a few of the spots, and that will, give us the indication that is your nose. Okay. The teeth, if you want to. That's not, I don't really like that one, so anytime you're ready to step back, just hit that. Okay, again. Going kind of fast here. If you go slower, that's better, more precise. But you get the idea. So change the weight of the brush, change the color if you want, or do it all in black and you can change the color later. Again, some options for filling in with color are, the two color libraries, the Copic library or the color editor. You can use, if you found a color that you like and you used it to fill in. Remember, we're going to use the paintbrush, or the paint bucket, the flood fill tool. Fills in. If you have a color that you like and you've gone to a different color, maybe, and you want to remember what that color was, you can use this eyedropper and just sample it, and it goes right back to that color. Okay, so have fun with this, and just remember to save your lines before you start filling in with color, or if you don't, you can always go back and change the color within those lines. But again, to save, we're going to do File, Save As, navigate to your drive, your art folder, and then the self-portrait digital illustration. I'm saving mine in, I think I do have one here. McNulty, and my